Hello? I don't know where I am. Oh, God. Alright, listen. Alright, listen to me here. If I no-clip myself, do not look into my internet history. Mixed. I'm very mixed on the Backrooms. This is a surprise, honestly. Now, for those of you who somehow don't know what the Backrooms is, it all started on a post from a 4chan board back in 2019, and an anonymous user ended up uploading a very blurry image of a really yellow room, and it looked oddly familiar, but also completely unsettling at the same time. That single image ended up creating one of the biggest internet horror phenomenons we've just seen on the internet ever. And then Kane Parsons came along and took that entire concept and absolutely just ran with it through his YouTube series, and he helped turn the Backrooms into one of the most iconic analog horror stories on the internet. And now somehow, someway, we have arrived at an A24 Backrooms movie. So in this film, we end up following a therapist and her patient after he discovers an entrance to the Backrooms hidden inside his furniture store. As his curiosity starts pulling him deeper and deeper into the impossible place, things begin spiraling out of control, as they always do when it comes to horror movies, and forcing his therapist to go look for him. Little does she know there's something more sinister waiting beyond those walls. Hello everybody, welcome back to another YouTube video. As always, I am Timothy Kennedy, and honestly, I've been following the Backrooms for a lot longer than I think I actually realized. For me, I think it started when I would watch Markiplier or maybe some other creators end up just playing the video games, because I had no idea what it was. I thought analog horror and stuff was merely from video games. Sonic EXE, is that part of analog horror? Maybe it is. I can't actually remember. But anyways, I found Kane Parsons videos through that, and then I started going down through the rabbit hole. And if you would have told me we would have a Backrooms movie that was getting made for a theatrical release from A24 and letting Kane Parsons direct it, I would be astonished, because I didn't know YouTubers can do stuff like that. I didn't know they had the sauce, bro. I did not know they had the sauce to do such things. We're in a new era. We can all do everything. But hey man, look, if Slender Man could get stuff about him, I mean, this definitely deserves that same sort of swag. And honestly, I will just applaud most creators that actually have been putting in the work and have the talent finally get their movies being made, because I mean, come on now. We have plenty of masterpieces all over the internet. Yes, sir. Anyways, this is going to be a completely spoiler-free review. So if you do enjoy movie reactions, trailer reactions, and all things in the entertainment industry, please consider dropping that like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that. And yes, a spoiler version will be coming later when I feel like everyone has already watched this creepy thing. Now let's start yapping before I get no-clipped into level 0. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the positives. The first thing I have to give this movie credit for is that it absolutely understands what makes the Backrooms interesting. There's like a ton of callbacks to the games, and obviously callbacks to Kane's previous videos. And I would always like to say like, duh, that should be an obvious thing that they should be doing. But believe it or not, I feel like there are a lot of movies that take certain IPs and you're like, dude, this is something completely different. What is this? Who signed off on this movie? Like, there are definitely going to be moments where the fans are going to recognize certain locations or concepts or visual references that have been in the Backrooms lore for years, but more importantly, the movie understands that the Backrooms aren't, fully about scary monsters, at least not primarily. The real horror comes from feeling of being somewhere you've never been before, while simultaneously feeling like you've been there your entire life and seeing like so many things that are familiar, old, or new. I like to view this as an AI place. Like, the Backrooms to me seems like if AI had to describe stuff before it got to this level of intelligence. And some of the familiarity is what causes it to be creepy, the yellow walls and then the buzzing office lights that you would see in like a normal cubicle office, the feeling of being completely alone, but you're not necessarily sure if you're actually fully alone. You just don't know, you know what I mean? Even to the point of the scary awkwardness when you're walking down a hallway and there's just a small patch of darkness with no lights, and the other side has lights, and you're like, well, you could see, but it's just randomly dark there. That in itself would stress me out. I feel that vibe not only in the Backrooms, but the way that they shot it makes it feel like you felt that even in people's normal homes. Like, the home seems so big and grand and boxed in that even when they were outside of the Backrooms, you felt like they were trapped exploring the unknown somewhere. And that's where I want to get into next. Visually speaking, this movie is great. I love wide shots. I'm not using a wide lens right now, but if I could, I would be, okay? Something about capturing the entire room super awesome, super lit to me. I shoot all my pictures even in 0.5 if I'm being so honest with you. But the lighting was great, the color grading looked freaking awesome. I just loved what I saw. And on top of the film, you have to see the actors. And Chiwetel, I don't know how to say his name. Is it Ejiofor? I feel like these are things I should know. I'm gonna listen to an interview if someone tried to say his name. And Renate Reinsve. The actors have the hardest 2 names ever. Oh my God. They absolutely showed up. I feel like a lot of horror movies right now, they're trying to show like, hey Oscars, some great performances in these horror movies, okay? They're trying to show up because Mia Goth and the entire cast of Hereditary were robbed of their excellence being celebrated on the biggest acting stage ever. There's literally a scene in there and they do it twice, and it's basically an acting scene, not only for the characters, but to me, it felt like an acting scene for us to watch. And it's so crazy that you could place that exact scene in probably some other drama movie and it would fit. And I would think they were doing a dead serious scene for that and not being stuck in the situation that they were. And like, you really can feel whatever's going on when it comes to these characters, especially the second time that they end up doing this scene. You can see like everything about this whole situation has changed. But now, unfortunately, that is where we slip into the mixed territory here. I would honestly say maybe around 30% of the movie is straight up horror and extremely terrifying moments, and the other 70% is pure exploration, investigation, conversation, and just trying to figure out what's even going on in the first place, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I mean, you know, if you are a fan of Kane's work, I mean, that is the entire purpose of a Backrooms. I mentioned this Backrooms maze coming out, and I still think a Backrooms maze actually does still work, but for the most part, if you try to take the originality of what the Backrooms is, it would literally just be you wandering around yellow halls, and that's it. There would be nothing more for you to do. That's the entire fear of it. The mystery and the discovery and the questions, that's the whole spiel. But I do think some people are going into this movie expecting like a wall-to-wall like horror, or at least like the late video games where it's just pure chaos the entire time. Like that's not what this movie is at all. This movie is much more interested in atmosphere and mystery than it is constantly trying to scare you. And personally, I found myself wanting a bit more. I'm all for psychological horror, don't get me wrong. You guys already know how much I was glazing, you know, Obsession and Hereditary and all those other things. Films like this, once the mystery and all that's done, I felt like it should all just pile on from here. Like more of the found footage sequences. I'll say that. More of the found footage sequences would have been absolutely awesome for me. Especially once things finally started going on. Like, I don't even need no reality no more. Pure chaos, man. If I had to say, some of my favorite moments are the absolutely very beginning of this movie. There's a middle section once, you know, a whole group of people start trudging through things, and then the complete ending was awesome. I would have preferred to see just slightly, a little bit more of that. Overall, I think this movie's cool. I would definitely watch it again to see if there were maybe moments or things that I may have missed in the first go around. I'm hoping if they do make a Backrooms 2, you know, maybe they can lean in more to that slasher horror aesthetic, you know what I mean? But that's really it. Like, listen, if there was a tier list, it's definitely still Obsession, Primate, Scream 7, and then Backrooms so far. But anyways, you guys go ahead and comment down below. Please let me know what were you guys' thoughts on this movie. Don't forget, my spoiler review will be airing sometime toward the end of this weekend or on Monday. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. And as always, guys, I'm T Kennedy, and I will see you guys at the concession stands.